Hello again, my name is Gabe Zolna. One of my viewers sent me a rather interesting little email. And the title is Mohammad and the Wearing of Silk Garments. And there's a lot of rather interesting information. But what I want to bring to the viewer's attention is that it's not too difficult to understand why Islamic extremists are willing to blow themselves up and to do Muhammad's bidding. And when you have people that have very little, I mean very little, they live like people lived hundreds of years ago. They eke out a living to try to stay alive. And then if they're promised paradise, I'm going to read you the first couple of short paragraphs and ask yourself, if you had nothing and you grew up in a cave or a mud dwelling, and if you were convinced that what the Prophet Mohammed preached would be in your grasp, if you adhered to what his teachings were, and if you were willing to commit jihad. The Quran states that the dwellers of paradise will be given silk garments to wear. Now keep in mind, these are people that are lucky if they have anything to wear, let alone silk garments. They probably don't even know what a silk garment is. Theirs shall be Garden of Eden, underneath which rivers flow. Now here you've got people that live in the desert. So letting them know that there shall be a Garden of Eden underneath which rivers flow, that by itself is pretty enticing. Then it goes on to say, there shall be adorned with bracelets of gold, and they shall be robed in green garments of silk and brocade therein, reclining upon couches. Here are people that were bent over in the fields trying to grow whatever meager crops they could grow. And they're told that they'll be robed in green garments of silk and brocade, therein reclining upon couches. Oh, how excellent a reward, and oh, how fair a resting place. God shall surely admit those who believe and do righteous deeds into gardens, underneath which rivers flow. Again, where rivers flow. Can you sort of see what's going on here? Therein thou shall be adorned with bracelets of gold, and with pearls, and their apparel there shall be of silk. Garden of Eden they shall enter therein, they shall be adorned with bracelets of gold, and with pearls, and their apparel there will be of silk. They keep sort of repeating themselves, don't they? Surely the God-fearing shall be in a station secure among gardens and fountains, robed in silk and brocade, set face to face, and recompensated them for their patience with a garden and silk. Upon them shall be green garments of brocade. They are. Obviously, this proposes that silk clothing is good and that it is not wrong to wear silk. In fact, the Quran nowhere prohibits silk outfits. Furthermore, there are specific narrations where Muhammad permitted certain companions and women to wear silk. That's sort of interesting. Muhammad permitted certain companions. I wonder what the definition of companions meant. Especially when it's put into this context, where Mohammad permitted certain companions and women to wear silk. Women, companions? I mean, I'm just asking. You know, you really have to sort of put yourself into their mindset. You take a young child, and we've seen examples of where they do that. They take young children and they have them kill people, cut their throats, shoot them in their heads. These children will grow up to further the terror that Islamist extremists enjoy placing against the infidels. We are infidels. We are considered non-believers. You really have to ask yourself, if you had nothing, and I mean nothing, and if bracelets of gold and flowing rivers and a whole lot of other benefits, including those 72 virgins, can you not see why they're so eager to die? And because they're so eager to die, you can't expect to fight and win a war against them. Our soldiers that try to defend our country do so for the love of our country. These radical Islamic extremists that fight against our country do so for promises that they'll never, ever realize. Sort of sad, isn't it? Problem is, they don't know the difference. Anyway, I thought I'd entertain you folks with a little of what I believe is the reason why we'll never beat them. You can't expect to win a war against people that relish death. We saw a bit of that during the Second World War with the kamikazes, when they plowed their zeros into our aircraft carrier decks. You can't fight and expect to win against that kind of ideology. The only reason we won that war is because of the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima and the plutonium bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki. Otherwise, we'd all be speaking Japanese. Now, the plan is to have us all speaking Arabic. Think not? You're intact.